Yeah, so Armani did 2-0 him, and now he's going to be going up against one of the best Zerg players in all of South Korea, going up against Rogue.
And I mean, taking out DRG, that's definitely impressive, but Rogue, he does feel like he's on a bit of a different level here, but we'll see how he does here on Jagannatha LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. Lad, I got a question for you. Are you free?
Down in Africa.
Representing the Africa Freaks, he is the most fashionable player in all of StarCraft 2. Juan's former roommate, we have Armani.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Rogue.
Skyland's here in the chat saying that Beyond's ID is similar to TY, and why his ID is TY, like, or TY in some cases, because his name is Taeyong. Mm-hmm. For some reason, that just brought back a memory for me from one of those GSL selection days where they were asking, "Yo, what's the story behind your ID?" And I think at one point TY said, "Oh yeah, it used to be Baby, but then I wanted to change because I grew up, and then I saw Jaedong had like JD, so I went to TY. And every other pro gamer after that was just like, yo, who does TY think he is? He thinks he can be as cool as Jaedong? Get out of here.
I mean, there were quite a number of them, right? Because there was TY, there was MC Minchul as well. Like, there were a couple, like DRG. But, yeah.
Well, DRG is a bit different because he's... I think he takes his name from a district of Busan instead of his actual name, but yeah.
You hear
there
that?
There are a lot of abbreviations. Not abbreviations, sorry. Initials.
There you go. I'm calling you out, Paco Mike. May you see all these guys actually using their names and their IDs, and you, what are you doing?
Shaking my head. You're not even Mike!
Or Paco. God damn it.
Shaking my damn head. At least Jim Rising is Jaime.
Yeah, he's close enough, you know? He's there. But we are getting into this series. Armani, of course, is not his actual name. He does own the fashion brand though.
Yeah. Fun fact, he invented Giorgio Armani.
There you go.
And by that I mean he invented the person, Giorgio.
Oh god. And like so far this game, not much has happened. Both players, they're just, you know, macroing up. They're both working on their third bases. Armani is getting his own safety bathing nest. Rogue though has opted not to throw one down.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that this is Rogue for you. You know, he does like to cut corners wherever possible to get a bit more of a better economy in the early game, so he does lead into the mid game with a bit of a lead in that regard.
You say that, mate. Rogue, he just made a wave of lings. He's making another massive wave of lings. 16 lings on the way, and he threw down the Bane Nest time so he can be aggressive with his Ling Bane across the map.
And we'll see what he can accomplish with this. Armani, his Bane Nest has just finished up, so he can't get those safety Banes, but Rogue, he's already pulling the trigger, going right across the map before Armani can get too many of those up.
Exactly. He does immediately morph in those Banelings as soon as the Bane Nest is done, so Armani should have a couple to hold on, but we'll see if he can hold on to his third.
At least one of these Banelings is going to get denied. Rogue, very quick to react, pulls away from those Banelings, will get a Queen as well. And is he going to be content with this? Not quite. Still poking around, trying to see what more damage he can get done. And the answer is quite a bit.
Oh yeah, the Lings, they managed to actually sneak in. Meanwhile, Rogue is trying to take out the third base at the same time.
There's only one Baneling right now for Armani. Almost takes out this clump of Zerglings. And yeah, Armani's got to make a decision. Okay, second Baneling does come out.
Yeah, exactly.
He's able to keep that third base alive.
And I hope Armani was paying attention because we have quite a number of Banelings being worked in. He immediately dives on them.
Yeah, is it a little bit too late? No, I don't think he has quite enough DPS there. But he did not sacrificing too many Zerglings to deal with those Banelings, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. In the end, the Banelings of Rogue didn't get into the mineral line. Meanwhile, there's quite a number of Banelings here again, trying to get on top of the third base. It's less than half health.
Yeah, Rogue, more like Regicide here. He's taking out a lot of these queens. That's still, I mean, the damage will eventually
God!
stack up. That's a juicy clump of Zerglings taken out right at the moment there for Armani. And Rogue continuing to push in.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't have much, but, I mean, one bailing.
Yeah, and again, he doesn't need too much anymore. That was such a juicy bailing connection. No more bailings left. Armani, he's trying to morph in his zone, and here come more to reinforce for Rogue.
This is Rogue just slowly covering Armani in a blanket of Ling Bane. Oh, even more queens going down. Can we get a counter for that?
Oh my god, and I think he's done it. Like, the third base is so close to going down. The bailing's going to be going into the main base.
And I mean, Armani, he's well aware that that's what he needs. I mean, the third base goes down. The bailing to connect here on a good amount of those drones. GG is called. Rogue going to be taking game number 1 in quick fashion.
GG, Rogue just ramping up that aggression, just going for a massive Ling Bane all-in. And like, Armani, he was so close to holding. He was doing so well. It was just that one Bailing connection.
Tell me you agree with me here, Light. That game felt like Rogue just slowly putting a pillow over Armani's face.
Maybe it felt more like it felt a little bit more aggressive than that. Just like, because Armani was fighting back. It's not like Armani was like asleep and then Rogue snuck up on him. Like, Armani, he was going toe to toe with him, you know, diving on top of some morphing bailings of Rogue, getting his own decent connections. But yeah, in the end, he was on the back foot, and Rogue with just a slightly better Ling Bane micro.
It was on the back foot for so long, and then that one bailing connection really solidified it.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, we're going to be continuing on here onto Romanticide, more like Regicide, LE. LE, of course, standing for Lovers Expansion. Lovers Expansion. That is the DLC to one of the Sims games, I have to imagine. Yeah, the Lovers Expansion. In the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, the Blues player coming down from South Korea. He is going to be representing the land down under, as he does represent Freak of Freaks. We have Armani.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. It is Rogue.
And I gotta appreciate that Rogue. I mean, he's going for his color. Well, I don't think this is quite Rogue Red, but, you know.
Yeah. Likewise, Armani representing Africa.
Is Africa? Yeah, Africa Freaks is blue and white. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, nicely done with their color choices here, and yeah, we'll see if Armani can bring it back again. Like, it was kind of a fast game. It's like both players, they were going up to their 3 bases. Everything was looking a little bit normal. And then all of a sudden, Rogue just cut worker production, just made nothing but lings, went across the map. And I guess on a map like, I almost said Genocide, Jagannatha, it is a little bit easier to do so, especially with all those speed zones.
Yeah, I mean, that was really just Rogue seeing that Armani, he had a weak point, and just focused so hard on that. Eventually, Armani just couldn't quite keep up.
Yeah. Again, you know, it was all about that Ling and Bane micro, and if if his was just a little bit better, then maybe he would have been able to hold on. Again, he did have that worker lead for the entirety of the game, but at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the Ling Bane.
Yeah, the workers, they don't really mean much if when they are. I'm trying to come up with a saying here. When they're being killed. There we go.
Nicely put, Yaku. As so far, this game is exactly the same as the last one. Both players are going up to their 3rd hatcheries. We'll see if anyone decides to cut some corners and not throw down a bailing nest. We'll see if they decide to play it safe and throw down the bailing nest. I imagine Armani should. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
I was going to say, if anyone was going to cut corners here, I expect it to be Rogue, but actually just going to be playing it safe here as well. Does not want to be caught off guard by anything Armani might throw at him.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens here, as we do have a little bit of a divergence. You know, Armani, he does have a much faster Evo chamber. We'll see if that's going to be for +1 range for roaches, or if he decides to spice things up and go for +1 melee instead.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of options here. This is almost a 1-1-1 of ZvZ, really.
yeah, in a way. And oh, he's going for melee.
Oh, there we go. Armani gonna be the one to initiate the assault.
And again, like I can't remember the last time we've seen Armani versus Rogue, but Armani opting to go for +1 melee. +1 melee. That is a big tell that Armani, he wants to go into them mutas.
Indeed, he likely does. Not gonna be bothering with roaches too much. May just get the Warren just to, maybe get a wall off or just throw Rogue off guard here. But still, he is focusing on that lair. Should be getting a couple more gases soon.
Yeah, definitely. Likewise, Rogue is also working on that lair. He has +1 range on the way, so Rogue looking like he does want to commit to roaches instead. And we'll see when Rogue is going to be able to catch wind that his opponent is going for, a different kind of composition, so then he can adjust himself.
Soon, TM.
That's
what I would say about that. Not letting that Ling to get into that wall.
Yeah, nicely done. Armani denying the scouting of Rogue, and now we have to keep an eye on the gases. Like, the lair is about to finish up. We'll see there it is. The rest of the gases are being taken, so a Spire should be thrown down shortly. But again, like, if Rogue is a little bit too passive, then Armani, he's gonna just gain map control with those mutas.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be the if though. As Rogue working on a Goliath Constitution, we'll see if he should be, planning to go for some kind of timing attack here.
Yeah, he should. That's the big thing, though. Like, again, he just hasn't been able to scout. He hasn't gone in with an Overlord. Any Ling that he tries to send in has been denied by Armani. Armani has been on top of that, again, trying to hide the fact that he's going for this more heavier Ling composition. And, ooh, this is exactly what Rogue needs.
Yeah, that Nidus definitely going to be able to catch Armani in those weak spots where he does not quite have the map control. Armani's +1 melee did finish up here. He's trying to make use of that, trying to see if he can get any damage done here. Instead, we'll simply confirm that Armani is going to be going for this this roach play. And here's a question for you, right? Rogue, he saw the roach warren. He saw that I wasn't really researching. What he doesn't see are any roaches. That should be the first tell here for Rogue.
Rogue knows 100%. Like, the big tell is that massive wave of Lings. And obviously you can click on them, and then he sees +1 melee, so he knows 100% that Armani is going for mutas. That is why he decided to throw down that Nidus. And with this Nidus, again, he needs to apply the pressure to Armani. He has to deal some damage before Armani gets, like, a high enough muta count.
I just like that Baneling walking across over there. They thought it was too slow without speed, but no. It was just there to make sure they could see the Nidus. And Rogue really pushing in with all of his roaches. Armani, before he can honestly get much of any mutas out, he's just planning to try to set up for a surround here with his Lings. The Baneling's going to make it that much harder on him. Armani's got to make a choice of these mutas. Attack the Banelings or attack the roaches. Actually, he's got to attack the Queens here. That's the anti-air that he has to worry about.
The problem is that Armani was not ready for this whatsoever. He had 2 spines? You need so many more than that to be able to hold this. He wasn't able to deny the Nidus whatsoever. Now spores are up for Rogue. There's nothing for Armani to do. He runs across the map, but...
Such a quick series. GG is called. And Rogue, he's got to be the first semifinal. I mean, before even checking the bracket, he's got to be the first semifinalist of this evening. That was such a quick 2-0.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was decisive, to say the least. Game 1 was more of a knife fight, but Game 2, Armani, he was trying to be sneaky, trying to hide that tech. But at the same time, he also himself wasn't scouting Rogue. He didn't realize that Rogue had a Nidus.
That was Armani recovering from game number 1, and Rogue deciding just to slap the injury.
Yeah, pretty much.
And with that, Armani, unfortunately, going to be, man, I don't know. I mean, I think that's what I think the result is about what I expected. I just was expecting Armani to, make it a little bit closer in both games. I mean, the way I looked at it was Rogue. I mean, he's had the best ZvZ in Korea. I want to say. I mean, somebody might just based on. I'm just basing it on like off what I've seen. Somebody might correct me on that, but yeah, Rogue just very impressive in ZvZ. I was expecting a 2-0, but I was expecting it to be narrower than that.
Yeah, again, like the way Armani played, like it was just unfortunate that he wasn't able to really figure out what Rogue was doing. Like he was doing something cheeky, but again, you have to respect your opponent. You have to be on top of your scouting. You have to realize, oh my god, like Rogue, he knows what I'm doing. He's going for a Nidus. I have to do the best I can to not only like deny the Nidus from going down, but also getting ready defensively to defend against it with all this stack defense. That's why we see so commonly when a player goes for a faster spire like that, you have like a forest of spines up that ramp, and he didn't have any spines whatsoever ready for Rogue.
Getting them corners.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. You know, he just wasn't ready for the Rogue counterattack. And to be fair, like if Rogue hadn't hit that timing, then he would have been the one in trouble. You know, then the Mutas would have been able to clear out all the Overlords. The Nidus would have had a much harder time going up, and Rogue would have been stuck on 3 bases. So yeah, again, like a very, very narrow timing that you have to hit if you're Rogue.
Yeah, but instead really well done for Rogue to identify what his win condition was in that game and just invest his entire attention on that. And I just realized this. I mean, I said it earlier. I just realized Rogue is now in the semifinals, and yeah, I mean, it's been pretty quick, I gotta say. I mean, at the start of the evening, you know, when I logged in and the admin was saying, hey, we've got 30 players in, can anybody just contact your friends or whatever just to get 2 more players in so we have a nice solid round of 32. And yeah, we did end up with that, and I was like, sick, we're gonna have more StarCraft tonight. But yeah, this bracket's actually moving really quick. Oh yeah, definitely. As you said, congratulations, Rogue. He is our first semi-finalist. As a reminder to the people, you just have to make it to the semis to confirm some prize money, as top 4 do get paid out. And at the moment, we are just waiting for a series to open up to dive into another one of these quarterfinal matches.